Guys, I'm back. I got my hair cut yesterday and I love it so much that I'm wearing a bun. Sometimes it happens. I have been seeing him since I was maybe 32 for a long time. And once in a while he gives me a cut that I really dislike, even though I'm really trying to do the same cut every time. I just think maybe he doesn't remember what he did. I don't know. But I feel like I look like Karen Silkwood and I'm not too thrilled about it. So, boom. I'll take it down at the end. Maybe it'll look better after being in a bun for a while. But today we are here to talk about a new palette that has fingerprints all over it. The new Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. And hi, there's my, my monitor. Super shiny. The very same setup as the first one. Not surprising. But this is in rosy kind of tones, which is, this color story's been around for a while. I returned the first one because I think it's egregiously overpriced at $68. I think the packaging is really cheap, and the mirror feels like it's a plastic mirror, not a glass mirror. I'm just saying. I think I did a comparison ounce for ounce, and I found Natasha Denona's middies are $3 less, have more product, and offer you more variety of what you can get done with these, where his is basically, it's one color story. Now, what's interesting is, I suppose you could do just this and this for an eye, this and this for an eye, this and this for an eye. Down here are mattes, up here are shimmers. That's another reason I returned it, is while I like the mattes, and I got a very pretty look out of it, I could either go heavier and get an evening look but the same thing, or that was kind of it. I don't really like shimmers so much that I would want to have that many varieties. 1, 2, 3, maybe. I do not need 5. So, I'm already coming with, I guess, a prejudice, if you can call it that, but it's really not a prejudice so much as prior experience with this brand and what do I think about the price. I thought it was a little high. At 20% off though, I think, okay, 20% less, it is workable. And I tell you what, I think you'd sell a lot more palettes 20% less. This is the new Charlotte Tilbury palette, and I think a lot of people were wondering if there's a similarity. I do think there's more pink in this one, but we're going to do some comparison swatches. I'm just going to take this, and these are very smooth and creamy, maybe a little too much, actually. Wow, the heat is climbing. So those are those. They feel a little too much. These might be hard to work with. And then I'll just take this and this from the Tilbury. Okay, so here's the Tilbury. Here's this one, the Patrick Ta. Actually, they swatch pretty similarly, but if you look closely, I think you'll find that there's more. What's the tone I'm looking for? I feel this one is a little more warm, and this one is a little more cool. And, that's pretty much it. I have to turn on the fan, you guys. It's 95 degrees. I apologize in advance. I'm back. I apologize, but I do not have air conditioning. I've said it before, and please, you can refrain from telling me I need to get central air. This is the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Now, many people say, this palette has been done, do we already have it, blah, 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 and I don't know. I thought of the retro, and the retro, as you can see, is nowhere near as warm as this one. In fact, while you might think this is cool, when you hold it up to the retro, you're thinking, oh, this actually isn't that cool. And that's all I could really think of, you guys. I don't think I have a pink palette except for the new nudes from Huda Beauty, which really isn't pink. It's really purple. And this is not purple. So I feel like this is kind of a warm pink palette, which might work better for more skin tones. And we are going to see how they perform and do a look. Worth mentioning, you guys, just like with the first one, behind here are 2 cream shadows that I really enjoyed the last time. In fact, I thought that's what really stood out to me, where I took a fabulous detail brush like this one, and I was able to do a beautiful wing. Once this sets up, it's set. It's like working with a pencil in a way, but this blends out better than most pencils. So if you are hooded, and you can't just do a wing, you kind of have to make it into something like a shadow and blend it out and give it an ombre a little bit, have it diffused. These are fantastic for that. So I don't know, maybe I'll do 2 videos on this. But for the moment, we're just going to do one. I'm going in with a big brush, and I'm going in with this. I might have to come back tomorrow to do swatches. We'll see how much time we have, because I have another appointment today. I haven't had a pedicure since the virus started, and I really need one. I do them myself. Okay, so this is Pulling Peach on me. And there was some kickoff with that. It's interesting that it felt creamy when I put my finger in, but when I just picked it up, it would go like that, and there is some dust that falls away. I'm going to take a Smith. I used to use these all the time, and then I got some new brushes and stopped using them, but I am understanding the benefit of a brush like this. First of all, it's a great shape. It's kind of pointed at the end. It's a pinched ferrule. It's goat, but it's also not very dense. So when you're working with shadows that are really dense, this is great. But for me, this point right here fits really nice into my so-called crease. So let's just do the second shade, and some dust comes off, okay? And see if I can give myself a little bit of shape. And this is reading peachy to me too. We're definitely going to do some fast swatches, you guys. And I love it that I can have my eyes open and have this brush kind of doing its work. Wow. Are you seeing peach? I'm seeing peach. So that one is reading peach, and I suppose this is where the variety is in the undertone. If you wanted something peachy nudie, you could probably get it. You could probably just go in with this and call it a day. Same brush, I wiped it off, and let's go in with this one, which I feel is a little bit on the mauvey side and has some blue in it. And we'll do this kind of massaging the eyeball to give me a little more depth. Now this is more in that cooler mauvey range, I believe. Very easy to apply. I don't think I'm getting any fallout. And again, this brush is not particularly dense, but it's doing the job. So I imagine if I had a denser brush, I'd be spending a lot of time blending, because it might really hit you with some coverage. Not with coverage, with pigmentation. I'm just going to, I haven't powdered in my lids, so I just want to help these things out. So I really like this, you guys. It's not reading super cool, it's not reading super warm. It's reading both cool and warm, but it's not particularly neutral. How interesting. Now this is where we get into Scary Town. This is the kind of color that I just do not like. So let's do some swatching. I'm not going to flash you again because the camera is doing so much, but this is the lightest of peach. This felt warm. This was going into Coolville. This is not Coolville. This is the kind of color that is, to me, a bit rust. And then this darkest color, which is a brown, maybe with a little bit of purple in it, or maybe quite neutral. I am going insane altogether. It's just swatched all together. This is not reading cool to me. This is reading warm. And now the shimmers that are adjacent on top of. And the shimmers, you know, really let you know what's going on. Although this looks like it has a flip to it. There's some pink in here, gold in here, but when I first laid this down, I thought it was kind of gold, so this also flips. I just feel these are kind of repetitive. There's really no reason to have that many shimmers. For instance, these two, they're just very similar. I mean, this has a pink flip, I think, to it. I don't know. I wish that we didn't have that much in it. I'm kind of afraid, you guys, to do much else because I am getting a pedicure and I don't want to look crazy. So I think I'll take a small detail brush and go into these creams, which you can use as a base, but I like them as a liner. And you can kind of line up, and if you want to, you can go over the powder to set it. Look how easy this is. I mean, this works better than some pencils I've tried. If you want to see me do a hooded eye tutorial on this palette, let me know down below. I am more than happy to do it. I do find that I have viewers who are really into the hooded lid thing because they're hooded and they want some ideas, and then there are people who, when I do palettes, they don't come to the party at all. So if there's enough demand, I will for sure do it, because this is something you can have fun with, this liner, this cream. Okay, so transferred up here, which that kind of happens when you're as hooded as I am. I'm just going to take this dense small brush and take advantage of this and give myself a little bit of a hood, but it's kind of set at the same time. So I'm going to go back into that cream with this brush and just very lightly see if I can kind of give myself some structure. Okay, we just went off the rails for this video. I think to really give this whole idea of what I just did a running chance for its money, it gets its own video. I probably would have better luck if I pulled this mirror in here and used both my hands to keep this taut. But from this distance, I really don't see a difference with my eyes open when I do this. And this is where my crease would naturally be. Let's see if it transfers over here so I can do the same thing. And it does. So again, my recollection is from the last palette that these do set. You just need to give them a minute. So if you're as hooded as I am, put them on and then do this for 5 minutes, or put powder over it immediately. So I just did a little liner and did my brows, and I'm trying to make everything even. And this is something else that's really interesting about these cream products. I felt like I needed to take it down a little bit. I am touching so lightly. If you don't set these, they're so easy to manipulate, which I really, really appreciate. And now I feel like I want to do a little more right here, and I haven't even re-dipped it. Now, let's just do a little bit of shimmer. Again, in Los Angeles, I don't see people wearing makeup like this when they're getting their hair cut, or when they're going to the grocery store, when they're getting a pedi. So I don't want to go crazy. So I'm going the second color in, which is the least aggressive of all the colors. And just see what happens. Well, it's not aggressive when I put it on. Okay, I just went to, I feel like I just kind of went to Disco Town. There may not be a way to do something subtle with these. I don't mind a shimmer, like the kind of shimmers Norris does. I think those are really pretty, but this is a little bit more than that. And I feel super self-conscious going out during the day with something like this on. And do a little bit of this mascara, which again, I love this color. This is the new color from Charlotte Tilbury, and I think it would go perfectly with this. I certainly don't want to put on black mascara when I have such a dramatic look already going on. Yeah, I do feel this look is dramatic, and I have to keep everything else super, super mellow. So I'm just going to do a little bit of my Negron. So I think for me, I want to make today no color in the cheeks, just making the skin look as close to a natural. And I already have the Tom Ford on my cheeks. The beige color was already set down. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, you guys. Do let me know. Do you want to see another video with this, with another eye look? Because I want to further explore it. And I'm so sorry we're flashing the camera over and over again. But I want to further explore this and look at the darker colors. I think you can get a straight out copper look out of this. And this, I think, was the color that matched the Charlotte Tilbury, which I'm telling you is warm, and this kind of proves it. So you can get copper, you can get peach. I think it's possible if you just do these two colors, you can get something a little bit mauvey, and then you would add this to get it more rosy. But it's not exactly what it looks like, I don't think. Not exactly what it looks like. But it is easy to work with, as was the first one. Unlike the first one, I feel like there's more variety in here. It looks like a monochromatic, but the undertones are really, really different, and that should be compelling to you if you, like me, were thinking it's a one-look wonder. All right, you guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.